All the titles have been decided, but there are still championship positions on the line and still a race to be won in the ADAC TCR Germany here at the Hockenheimring. It is the season finale, the very last race of the 2022 ADAC TCR Germany season. It will be 30 minutes of racing plus one lap, and it is a familiar sight at the front of the order. A pair of Hondas backed by Liqui-Moly Team Engstler have once again locked out the front row of the grid with Simon Ladniak on pole position. The driver who secured the junior classification, the junior championship just yesterday. And he did so in style with an overall win. He lines up in the 21 car on pole position. Last time out in that race, this man, Martin Andersson, finished behind him, finished second place, and didn't attack the Polish racer. But I'm sure that now both drivers have their championships. Of course, Martin Andersson already our overall champion here in ADAC TCR Germany. Simon Ladniak has secured himself the junior trophy. I'm sure that Martin Andersson is now going to be a little less forgiving and a little more aggressive up against Simon Ladniak. You saw that Jessica Bachmann is there on the second row of the grid in the Audi from TCR Racing. She will be looking for a strong finish here because she is very much within striking distance of Simon Ladniak in the championship, or rather it's the other way around, but Ladniak is within striking distance of Jessica Bachmann, who currently sits second in the championship. Ladniak, though, is around 10 points back, so she could do with a strong result here just to shore up her chances of taking the runners-up spot in the championship. Jessica Bachmann will start from third position alongside Vincent Rademeker. We will run down the grid in full in just a few moments. It's been a great season of racing in ADAC TCR Germany. We haven't always had strength in numbers, but in terms of quality of driver, it has always been very, very strong, a very high level at the top of the order in this category. Starting grid for this one then, it is Simon Ladniak on pole position for Liqui-Moly Team Engstler Honda alongside his teammate and 2022 champion Martin Andersson. Jessica Bachmann lines up on row 2 for TCR Racing, and she is joined by Vincent Rademeker, the highly experienced Belgian competitor for Maurer Motorsport in the Holden Astra. Robin Jaar in 5th position and Jonas Karklees alongside him. Karklees, who was pole position yesterday, third row of the grid today. He'll be looking to make up some places and maybe, just maybe, get that win he's been wanting this year. Rolliker and Kershaw on row 4. Row 5, Max Grun and Patrick Singh. And row 6 of the grid, Roland Hertner in the Liqui-Moly Team Engstler Honda alongside Michael Maurer. So then 12 cars are due to take the start for this one. And some very strong names at the sharp end of the order. Vincent Rademeker was so close to a podium yesterday. He was there in third place. And then the car, unfortunately, gave in at the final hurdle. An issue, it wasn't running out of fuel or anything like that. I believe it was an electrical issue, if memory serves me correctly, for Vincent Rademeker. So close to netting his first podium of the year yesterday. He'll be looking to try and right that wrong and get that podium he's been waiting for. Of course, Niels Langveld, the Dutch racer, was driving that car in his place at Sachsenring and did get a podium. So I think that Vincent Rademeker is incredibly keen on moving up the order today. And of course, he is an old school touring car driver. He has been through the Super Touring era. He's been in the British Touring Car Championship and won races at the peak of the BTCC. And therefore, he will have a lot of tricks in the bag when it comes to driving a powerful front-wheel drive touring car, and I'm sure he's going to use every last one of them from a good starting position on the second row of the grid to try and get that podium he is longing for. Ladniak and Andersson could be an interesting battle as well between the Liqui-Moly Engstler cars and Jessica Bachmann, who had such a great start to her season. She had 4 wins in 6 races at the start of the year, and she hasn't had a victory since then. I'm sure that Jessica Bachmann would love to make her way to the top step of the podium today. Let's see what she can do in the ComTU Audi, a car that she basically had no seat time in when she switched from Rademeker Motorsport Hyundai to ComTU Audi ahead of Sachsenring. I think she's now a little more comfortable in the car. She did have some issues though. The car seemed to have a failure on the left rear yesterday. Sent her into a spin. I think it was a legacy of some damage she sustained in free practice. Unfortunately, her race was curtailed yesterday, but she'll be looking for a podium at minimum from third place, I'm sure. It's going to be an exciting conclusion to the ADAC TCR Germany season. The green flag has flown. The red lights go on. We're about to go racing for the final time in 2022 from the Hockenheimring. ADAC TCR Germany is underway for race 14 of 14 of the 2022 season. And it's a good start from Simon Ladniak and Jessica Bachmann. Martin Anderson, though, is demoted to third place, and barely a start at all for Vincent Rademeker. He's dropped down the order quite significantly there. He has dropped outside the top 6. Jessica Bachmann, though, has managed to get herself in between the pair of Liqui Youngster cars. That is a good start for Jessica Bachmann. A little bit of drama further ahead there. I think that was Vincent Rademeker getting into it with Patrick Singh. So Rademeker's first lap continues to get worse. He's fallen down the order significantly, as far down as 9th place. Vincent Rademeker from the second row of the grid. That's hugely unfortunate for Rademeker and the Maurer team, who are hoping to get another podium today. Still possible, of course, but it's becoming a long shot. Up the inside goes Max Grun on Robin Jarre. Grun has had a very good start. He's got himself up into 6th place in the Audi that has been a factor for most of the season in this championship. And he's up ahead of Robin Jarre, but Robin Jarre doesn't take such things lying down. Straight back up into 6th place goes Robin, the team boss of Rademeker Motorsports. Out wide goes Robin Jarre. Some of the others a bit less aggressive with their use of the runoff area. Rademeker up to 8th place. He's gotten past Roland Hurtner, and now Tim Rolliker having a look up the inside of Hurtner as well. But can't quite make it stick on that occasion. Rolliker, the youngster who joined the category last time out, a graduate of the Tourenwagen Junior Cup here in Germany. And he is pressuring Roland Hurtner, a former ADAC Pro Car champion. Very experienced and well-seasoned veteran of touring car competition is Hurtner. Had a big smash last time out at Sachsenring, but the car's repaired. He was A-OK, walked away from the incident, and thankfully is back out for the season finale. Max Grun, having lost out to Robin Jarre after briefly getting past him, is now having to fend off Vincent Rademeker. A piece of bodywork goes flying there. Not sure whose car that was off. It looks like Rademeker may be on the move, though. He's got a good run on Max Grun as they head through the Parabolica and towards the hairpin, turn 6. I understand the Opel might be a little bit down on power compared to some of the other cars out there on circuit. They are looking to move beyond the Opel, or rather the Holden Astra TCR after this season. And once again, Max Grun has found a way past Robin Jarre, and Vincent Rademeker has got a 2-for-1 deal. Bargain hunter, Vincent Rademeker. 2 positions for the price of 1, and Max Grun, braver on the brakes than Robin Jarre, who seemingly doesn't have the confidence in the pedal. Going into the hairpin, he's not able to dive back on the inside of Max Grun. And Vincent Rademeker has moved his way up to 6th place from 8th then, in one sector, in one corner. I'm sure that suits him just fine. If Robin Jarre's not careful, they're going to charge him to go back in with that wide line he takes out of turn 11. And there you see further back as well, there was some argy-bargy between Rolliker, Patrick Singh and Roland Hurtner. But Max Grun once again with that inside line into the hairpin, moving up the order. At the sharp end of the pack, it is Simon Ladniak in the lead from Jessica Bachmann. The gap has gone out significantly already, 1.6 seconds. Jessica Bachmann preoccupied with Martin Anderson behind. Jonas Karklees in 4th, René Kirscher in 5th place, and then Vincent Rademeker in 6th. Patrick Singh still applying pressure to Roland Hurtner. Patrick Singh was a little bit off the pace yesterday. I think he'll be looking to make amends. And Singh has found his way past Hurtner. Very nicely done from Patrick Singh. He's through into what is now 9th place. Sorry, make that 10th place. Roland Hurtner, though, looking to try and retaliate as they go down to the hairpin. One of the other cars locking up in the distance. Hurtner to the inside. Can't quite find a way through. Sets himself up for a nice run out of the hairpin. But Patrick Singh also getting a good run, using the runoff area on the outside of the hairpin. Seems as though carte blanche is there to do so, as long as you don't make up a position off the circuit. Bit deep there into Mercedes. Overlooking the Mercedes arena, the packed out grandstands here for the season finale weekend in ADAC GT Masters, TCR Germany, the Prototype Cup, ADAC GT4 Germany and Porsche Carrera Cup Germany are all seeing their season off this weekend at Hockenheim. And the fans have come out in their droves to witness the season finale. Martin Andersson keeping a close eye on Jessica Bachmann as they head down the main straight once again. I think the gap between Rademeker and Bachmann has gone out once again. It is indeed out to 2.3 seconds. Bachmann versus Andersson was the battle at points this year. Certainly going into August, Jessica Bachmann had the upper hand in the championship on Martin Andersson. But Jessica Bachmann's August at the Nürburgring and Lausitzring round was very difficult indeed. She suffered some misfortune. Of course, made contact with Robin Jarre, her then team boss, at the Lausitzring at turn 1. A brave move from Robin Jarre did not pay off and sent Jessica Bachmann into a spin and ultimately sent her looking for a new car. And a new car she found in the ComTU Racing Audi she drives now. Hopefully we get to see a full season campaign again next year for Jessica Bachmann, perhaps once again with ComTU. The cars make their way through the second sector of the circuit. Of course, vastly reprofiled is the Hockenheimring from its prior configuration, pre-2002. The long straights replaced by the flat-out parabolica and the hairpin. The circuit length cut drastically. But some more technical sections, some more challenges drawn into the new design from Hermann Tilke and his company. Hermann Tilke is here, incidentally, this weekend. Anyone who's anyone in German motorsport seems to flock to the season finale weekend of ADAC GT Masters and its support categories. Jessica Bachmann and Martin Andersson then still running in tandem in second and third place. Andersson not really getting any closer or indeed any further away from Jessica Bachmann. A watching brief for the time being. Tim Rolliker has gotten past Max Grun, as has Robin Jarre. So Max Grun in the Audi has been demoted to 9th place there. I don't know if he's made an error or something of that nature. I think we may be getting a look at it now. Yes, we are. Oh, just straight on there at turn 12. Tried a little bit too hard, carried in a bit too much corner speed. Going into the turn 12 section, into the main kind of stadium section of this circuit, and the trip to the gravel resulted in a loss of 2 positions. At least the car didn't dig itself into the gravel permanently. He can continue on and maybe try and challenge Rolliker and his team boss Robin Jarre again before the end of the race. Simon Ladniak still has a 2.6 second lead, so extending and extending lap on lap for the time being. Jessica Bachmann, I think, has a couple more tenths in hand over Martin Andersson on this lap. Jonas Karklies doesn't seem to quite be able to match the pace of Bachmann and Andersson up ahead as of this time. Perhaps he's just saving the Hancooks for later on in the race. Vincent Rademeker, we saw there closing in on Rademeker as well, so perhaps a battle for 5th place could be in the offing before too long. There's Rademeker being now pursued by Max Grun after that off-track antics. Max Grun, the youngster, has certainly shown some promise at times this year. And I'm sure his skill set will only get deeper as the years go on. There's been a consistent entrant in his Audi RS3 LMS. At times he has been the only Audi entered. We have also seen the likes of Kai Rozovsky, of course, enter most of the rounds in his Audi. And now, of course, we have Jessica Backman too. Meanwhile, Rademeker under pressure from Vincent Rademeker. Rademeker tried to go to the outside, couldn't quite get it done. Rademeker continues to hold off his vastly more experienced combatant. Rademeker is, of course, in the junior championship, is all set to take 2nd in the junior classification this year with a strong finish today. Meanwhile, Vincent Rademeker, who will be the runner-up in the trophy classification behind Roland Hurtner for the more experienced drivers. He is looking to try and get his way past Kershaw. Rademeker suffered some really bad luck this year at times. I think if he'd had a more consistent season, if he'd been able to attend the Sachsenring race, he would have likely been able to challenge Roland Hurtner for the trophy classification championship. Of course, Rademeker, as we alluded to, a race winner in the BTCC, a championship winner in the Belgian Pro Car Series. Has been a staple of production car racing, be it saloon cars, be it GT cars, for the better part of 25 years. In fact, shared a Mosler for gravity racing at one point at the Spa 24 Hours with none other than 1997 Formula One World Champion Jacques Villeneuve, among a plethora of very well-regarded teammates that Rademeker has had. Rademeker in the slipstream of Rademeker, and it looks like Kershaw's car hasn't quite got the same horses as Rademeker in a straight line. Side by side between the two of them, Rademeker didn't quite get the whole car ahead. Rademeker just about staked a claim to the inside line, and once again, Vincent Rademeker can't quite find his way through, but he's got the run towards turn 7, the fast kink. They just about give each other room. Rademeker desperately trying to hold on to the inside line as they go to the Mercedes arena, and they touch. Rademeker with a boot full of throttle and lots of seesawing at the wheel just about keeps the car on the straight and narrow, but Vincent Rademeker won't be impressed with that. A bit of contact between himself and Rademeker. Oh, it's on. Let's go and see what happens now in the battle for 5th place. I'm sure Rademeker, before too long, will be challenging Rademeker once again, especially if Kershaw is as leery as we just saw him there through turn 12. Got the car a bit loose, and I'm sure Rademeker now means business. Oh, we're going to play that game, are we? He's thinking to himself. Okay, let's wait and see what happens next. Of course, Vincent Rademeker owns the production saloon car record at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, courtesy of a run in the Jaguar XE Project 8 car. Here's a replay of the incident between these two. Rademeker kind of ran Kershaw out wide. Kershaw, in turn, left his nose there, gave a bump to Rademeker. I think Rademeker may have been a bit ambitious with his turning angle there, given the Hyundai was there. I'm not sure Rademeker could have been too much further to the left there. 6 of one, half dozen of the other, perhaps, but nonetheless, Vincent Rademeker is now once again on the back of Rademeker, and once again they're at close quarters as they approach the hairpin, and this time Rademeker was to the inside, but he wasn't quite alongside Kirscher, but he launches it into the corner, tries the block pass, and he might have got it done, you know. Vincent Rademeker presses on. The incident between cars 8 and 11 is under investigation. That was here a lap ago, but meanwhile, Rademeker has found his way past Rene Kirscher. This time, as they approach the Mercedes arena, he's all the way ahead, and Rene Kirscher will now try and retaliate on Vincent Rademeker. That was a massive late braking move with just a little bit of contact at the hairpin from Vincent Rademeker. He's moved up to 5th place. Been slightly frustrated after the poor start from the second row of the grid, and now in amongst this battle with Rene Kirscher, Vincent Rademeker maybe seeing red a little bit, and he is firmly competing with the gloves off now. If anything, he'll be hoping to dispatch Rene Kirscher from his rearview mirror and try and close down Jonas Karklees. It's a big order, a tall order, because the gap between Rademeker and Karklees is somewhere around 4 seconds, but we'll wait and see what happens there. Looks as though Kirscher is just starting to fall back from Rademeker. Meanwhile, Robin Jarre still being tailed by Tim Rolliker, and unfortunately Max Grun seems to have an issue with his Audi. A premature end to the race for the driver of number 13. Here's a look at Rademeker making the move there. To be fair, he turned the car in. Meanwhile, Rene Kirscher was locking up and couldn't get the car turned to the apex, so I don't think much could be said about that overtake. It was a bit of a block pass, but I don't think Vincent Rademeker was in the wrong in the slightest there. Regarding the tag a couple of laps ago, we've heard that there's no further action as well between Rademeker and Rene Kirscher, so the stewards are happy, and Tim Rolliker will be happy too because he's got his way past Robin Jarre. Must be a little bit alarming whenever you have to overtake your teammate, but it seems as though not only your teammate, but your team boss. And it seems as though Tim Rolliker has done so, hopefully without any undue contact, because I'm sure he'd be paying for it. So 6th, 7th and 8th places right now for the ADAC Motorsport Hyundai team. A couple of cars being reminded that track limits are a thing, receiving black and white flags. Car 22 and car 26. So Jessica Bachmann in 2nd place and Robin Jarre both being cautioned on their use of the runoff area as part of the racing surface. Simon Ladniak remains your race leader here with less than half of the race left to run. He has 3 seconds worth of advantage over Jessica Bachmann in the Audi. Martin Anderson is just under a second behind Jessica Bachmann. No movement at the sharp end of the order. Then it's Jonas Karklees, who is 3.7 seconds clear of Vincent Rademeker. However, Rademeker was some 0.5 of a second faster, in fact almost 0.6 of a second faster on the previous lap. So before the end of this race, Rademeker may well be on the back of Jonas Karklees and his Nordpass Hyundai. So we could yet see Rademeker challenge another Hyundai driver in the form of Jonas Karklees in his i30N. Rademeker's best finish this season is a 5th place. And while he desperately wanted that podium that fell out of his hands practically at the very last hurdle yesterday, I'm sure that a best result of the season would also put a little bit of a smile on his face to end the year. So let's see if he challenges for P4 before the end. We continue to watch Rolliker and Robin Jarre pursuing one another. Doesn't look like Robin is quite able to get close enough to the back of Tim Rolliker right now for a move. Wait and see whether or not he can find a little bit of pace. Gaps at the sharp end remain stable on this lap. The gap between Jonas Karklees and Vincent Rademeker has indeed gone down again. It's under 3 seconds now. Another 8/10 taken out of that gap in the battle for 4th place. So while they're not close together just yet, there's not much to see just yet. Bear in mind that battle for 4th looks to be brewing. There's Michael Maurer towards the back of the field. Came into this season as a complete novice in motor racing, albeit a novice with the Maurer family name, a name that has taken ADAC championships in years gone by. A team that makes its return to top-level motorsport for the first time in 10 years this season. And they are keen to do more in 2023. They're moving away from the Holden Astras that they compete with this year. And they have plans afoot to do racing somewhere in 2023, but they're still in the process of deciding exactly where and when. Hopefully we get to see them back. Flashes of competitiveness from the team, especially with Niels Langeveld filling in for Rademeker last time out at the Sachsenring. Meanwhile, Patrick Singh has still failed to distance himself from Roland Hurtner. This battle has been yo-yoing all race long. Hurtner, in previous years gone by in the former flagship ADAC Touring Car Championship, the Pro Car Series. He was a teammate at one time of none other than Frank Zensler himself. Of course, Franz, who runs the team today, at one time a regular on the world stage in touring car competition. Had some good successes in the STW Championship, the old Super Touring German series, and was then a proponent of the independent class in the World Touring Car Championship for a number of years. Looks like Martin Andersson has rolled the sleeves up and is now challenging Jessica Backman. The gap was still 7/10 across the line, but it seems as though Andersson's a bit closer now. We're within 10 minutes of the end of the race, so time running out for Martin Andersson. Seems he believes it's time to push. As it stands, with 25 points for Simon Ladniak and 20 points for Jessica Backman. Jessica Backman would retain second in the championship, and I believe that would be the case if Andersson got past as well. Her advantage is just enough in the championship that as long as she finishes on the podium, she will be fine, even if Simon Ladniak does take this win. And she will claim the runners-up spot in an ADAC TCR Germany that she will feel she could have won. Certainly she was the hot favourite going into the Nürburgring. But the chalice of misfortune seems to be in her possession consistently in the latter half of the season, and hopefully she can bounce back stronger in 2023. Jessica has been racing in TCR for many seasons in many countries. She's always been impressive. And she was taking the fight to the champion, Martin Andersson, all throughout the first half of the year. Gap between Jonas Karklees and Vincent Rademeker is down to 1.6 seconds. So Karklees and Rademeker may soon be in a scrap for 4th place. Meanwhile, Jessica Backman seems to still have the measure of Martin Andersson there. You can see how the gap has closed up in that scrap for 4th as René Kirscher again locks up, as does Robin Jarre behind. But the gap between Karklees and Rademeker was over 4 seconds. It's now potentially going to be under a second by the end of the lap. Roland Hurtner continues to pressure Patrick Singh, who's a bit deep on the braking zone there at the hairpin. But Roland Hurtner can't quite get it done yet. Good scrap between the two of them in this race. Good to see Patrick Singh with a bit more of a competitive outing. He was rather lonely in race 1 yesterday, We know that Patrick Singh can get in amongst it and have some very positive results. His best finish this year, a 4th place at the Red Bull Ring. Two victories so far this year for Simon Ladniak. The second of which came yesterday, of course. Could be on for win number 3 here. Especially if Bachmann and Anderson start coming to blows, as it very much looks likely they will do. Bachmann, the Swedish racer who for many years competed with West Coast Racing in their Volkswagens. So I'm sure some familiar territory in a sense with the Audi RS3. Some of the mechanicals won't be a million miles away, being another VAG TCR product. Again, Rademeker, he's so deep on the brakes and the car's locking up, and he just struggles to get the car rotated as a result. We've got a car slowing there, Robin Jarre. I believe Robin Jarre has a problem. We just saw it on screen as Patrick Singh and Hertner continue to scrap, but behind them now is Robin Jarre, and I think his car may be in woes of some description. This is the battle for 8th place, as you see on your screen. Patrick Singh and Roland Hertner scrapping. It was the battle for 9th, but Robin Jarre has fallen away from his fellow Rojar Motorsport Hyundai competitors. They were running in a convoy in 8th, 9th and 10th. Sorry, in 6th, 7th and 8th. Now, though, Robin Jarre is down in 10th place and seemingly limping. Hertner looking to the inside of Patrick Singh, but Singh covers it off nicely. Once again, Hertner has been pressuring Patrick Singh consistently for quite a while here. And he's yet to find a way past the Racing Team entry. Out onto the start-finish line they go to complete the 14th lap of the race. They've only got 3 minutes and 38 seconds plus 1 lap of racing to go. Meanwhile, Robin Jarre off camera is still limping home, and I'm just looking out of my commentary box window here and I don't see any tyres down, so I think it's a mechanical fault. Perhaps a blown turbo or something like that, because there's no smoke, there's no obvious signs of distress, but nonetheless Robin Jarre is limping back to the pit lane. There he is now, coming back in. We were just looking at Jonas Karklees, who has indeed ended up in the clutches of Vincent Rademeker, so that battle is about to get very interesting as Robin Jarre comes into the pits. No changes in the top 3. The battle for 4th place, though, could be about to get very interesting indeed, as Vincent Rademeker is all over the back of Jonas Karklees, the Lithuanian racer, who unfortunately isn't going to get that first win of the season that he's so desperately wanted. He had the opportunity from pole position yesterday, but unfortunately the car just didn't get off the line for him, and now he's going to have to defend 4th place from Vincent Rademeker. Rademeker has had a few 5th places this year. To be exact, he's had 3 of them. I think he wants to go one better for his best result of the season. He's got 2 minutes and 15 seconds plus 1 lap to try and work his way past Jonas Karklees. That will be 3 more laps of racing for Jonas Karklees to withstand the pressure from Vincent Rademeker. I think that's going to be an exciting battle. All the while, Simon Ladniak is well clear at the front of the order. Vincent Rademeker, though, in the slipstream. Jonas Karklees, again, that Hyundai i30N just seems to stall out towards the top of the rev range, and Rademeker is a nose ahead, but he's got the outside line. Jonas Karklees tries to block him off, but he doesn't succeed in doing so. The undercut may just work here for Vincent Rademeker. It's a drag race down towards turn 7, and Rademeker has got himself ahead, but Jonas Karklees, I'm sure, is about to throw caution to the wind to try and get that position back. Rademeker, though, for now, is up into 4th place. He's not quite going to get that first podium of the season. He's not quite going to claim another podium for ADAC Motorsport by the looks of it, but he is now in his best finishing position of the season if he can remain there. Let's see if Jonas Karklees challenges, but it was fairly textbook stuff at the hairpin from Vincent Rademeker, deep into the corner. Good run out of the turn and leading before turn 7. So Rademeker up into 4th place. Meanwhile, the top 3 head across the start-finish line to begin the penultimate lap. Black and white flag being displayed, I believe, there to car 44 for track limits issues. So Tim Rolliker being told to ease up on the runoff area. There is Martin Andersson in 3rd place. He's been close to Jessica Backman throughout this race, but don't think he's quite going to be close enough ultimately to challenge Jessica. There's a replay of the move from Rademeker. Very nicely done indeed, deep into the corner. Squared off the exit. It doesn't look as though Jonas Karklees has any retaliation forthcoming. The Mikael Maurer car, the other Holden Astra TCR from the Maurer Motorsports stable, is carrying a wonderful message, thanking everyone who's helped him this year, including the mechanics, Vincent, even Niels Langeveld, and his sponsors. And certainly that team, a small effort, a family effort, has been very promising at times, with Vincent Rademeker and indeed Niels Langeveld and Mikael Maurer improving and improving as he advances beyond his novice status. Ladniak in the 21 car, coming out of the final corner now to begin the final lap of the race. And what a weekend this is lining up to be for Ladniak. Comfortably his most successful of the year. He had one single victory at the Salzburg Ring in June. Of course, has been consistently victorious in the junior classification. However, he's shown up to Hockenheim and he has shown everyone else the way. Still with a comfortable cushion over Jessica Backman. It has gone down to 1.7 seconds. But it seems as though the Polish racer is just a few corners away from a second win in as many races, a clean sweep of the results in ADAC TCR Germany at Hockenheim. Replay here of Roland Hurtner and Patrick Singh. And did Hurtner finally get it done? Yes, he did. That was one lap ago. Using the runoff there to make sure his exit was good. However, since this replay, I can confirm that Patrick Singh has gotten back past Roland Hurtner again. So they're still going at it further back in the pack, and I think we're going to see how. Indeed, there you go, Patrick Singh getting back past the Mercedes arena. Back to live pictures then, and Simon Ladniak is just a few corners from home. Jessica Backman has closed in. Simon Ladniak has been taking it easy on these last couple of laps, but he is going to cross the line and make it 2 from 2 at Hockenheim. The junior champion of 2022 in ADAC TCR Germany crosses the line. to take a second win of the weekend, the third win of the season. Bachmann and Anderson round out the podium. Vincent Rademeker takes home his strongest results of the year in 4th place. Jonas Karklees finishes his year with another top 5 in P5. René Kirscher 6th, Tim Rolliker 7th, and Patrick Singh is just about going to hold off Roland Hertner for 8th place. Mikael Maurer will be the 10th of our finishers. Robin Jarre and Max Gruen both coming into problems during this race. Flash of the headlights as Patrick Singh beats Roland Hertner home. A well-deserved 8th place there in a good scrap with Roland Hertner. I'm sure that was fun for both of them. Simon Ladniak finishing up his season in style. Waves to Martin Anderson, who's running alongside him. Of course, Martin Anderson, who clinched the championship last time out at the Sachsenring. Remains to be seen what his plans will be in 2023, whether he defends this title or ascends perhaps further up the ladder in ADAC. Quite where he ends up is a mystery, but the Danish competitor has completed the streak. He has not finished off the podium at any point this year. Martin Anderson with a season to be immensely proud of. Finished every race, stayed out of trouble. Nothing but podiums for Martin Anderson, and that was a season of a champion. Martin Anderson will surely look back on this year with a smile, no matter what 2023's plans are. And one happy man in the form of Franz Engstler, who has overseen another successful season in ADAC TCR Germany for his Liqui Moly Team Engstler squad. Ladniak with the win then over Jessica Bachmann with a strong result to finish her season in 2nd place. Martin Anderson and Vincent Rademeker in 3rd and 4th. Jonas Karklees rounding out the top 5 for Nordpass. A great result for Jonas. A good year overall for him. René Kirscher for ADAC Motorsport taking 6th place. Tim Rolliker and Patrick Singh rounding out the top 8. Roland Hertner, Mikael Maurer, the last of our finishers. And as we alluded to earlier on, Robin Jarre and Max Gruen both failing to finish on that occasion. I'm sure that Jonas Karklees won't be elated today. He didn't get his win that he so sorely wanted. He got a good few podiums across the year. I'm sure he'll be back to challenge in 2023. I know he plans to continue in TCR. He's just not quite sure where yet. He's certainly strongly considering a return to ADAC TCR Germany in 2023. So then, the drivers head to Parc Fermé and to the podium for the final time this year. And Simon Ladniak, once again, will take up the middle spot under the podium. Race winner, once again, for Ladniak. Jessica Bachmann will join the pair of Liqui Moly Honda Civics in just a few moments, and they'll head up to the podium to celebrate their results. And in all 3 cases, even though some had drama, in all 3 cases, they will celebrate a successful season. Congratulations pour in then for Simon Ladniak from the Engstler team. And personnel from elsewhere on the grid also taking the time to congratulate Simon Ladniak on yet another win. And the Engstler team, such a well-oiled machine. Martin Anderson, as I said, rounding out an all-podium season. I'm not sure if that's the very first time that's been done in TCR Germany. I'm fairly sure it is. nonetheless, a mighty performance from Anderson in this season, and I'm excited to see what's next for him. He's proven time and time again in his native Denmark and here in ADAC TCR Germany that he is a brilliant driver, and very much a thinking man's racer as well. And Jessica Backman posing for some pictures. She's just happy to get back onto that podium after a difficult few races. Managed to hold off Martin Anderson and do just enough by finishing second to hold on to second in the championship. It was a little closer than I thought, in fact, between Backman and Rademeker, but Backman just about held on to the championship runner-up position. And she will possibly be looking to go one better in 2023 in ADAC TCR Germany. Of course, a packed afternoon of racing still to come here at the Hockenheimring. I'm sure a good many of you will be tuning in for the GT Masters race that comes up next here on the program at the circuit. Still championships to be decided and races to be had before we go on a winter break. The ADAC, as always, work hard to make the experience on the circuit and on the track, and indeed in the paddock, better and better with more and more teams in 2023. We very much look forward to coming back after the winter break. Martin Anderson taking the third step on the podium. The Danish driver once again on the podium and rounding out what has essentially been a perfect season. Jessica Backman just about holds on to the championship runners-up spot after a difficult Saturday. And Simon Rademeker has taken the final win of the ADAC TCR Germany season. So massive congratulations again to Rademeker. Obviously secured his junior championship yesterday and has had his best weekend of the year here at Hockenheim. All of the championships, the team's title, the driver's title, the junior and the trophy titles will go home with Liqui-Moly Team Engstler. So they will have to build a new wing of the trophy cabinet, more than likely. Oh, and the party poppers for Martin Anderson. Excellent stuff. A little bit of pizzazz. Jessica Backman takes the runners-up position. And Simon Rademeker to the top, and he's got a pop. Excellent stuff for Simon Rademeker. 3 race wins and a strong season. Will he be back to challenge for the overall title in 2022? Once you've won the junior classification, you get bumped up, so he could be an overall title contender in 2023. National anthem time. And there you go. I don't know if this is Martin's mum, but certainly it's his biggest fan. Florian Kuiper presents the winner's trophy to Martin Anderson. sorry, to Simon Ladniak. Second place going to Jessica Backman, courtesy of Wolfgang Derheimer of the ADAC Young Drivers program. And Martin Anderson, of course, with third place in the race, in spite of his championship glory. Team's trophy, once again, going to Liqui Team Engstler. And there's the man himself, Franz Engstler, who has had great success this season, actually racing in Ferrari Challenge as well. So he's got a few pots to add to the trophy collection in 2022. Better part of 3 decades of racing success under the Team Engstler banner. So lots of trophies at headquarters and lots of champagne being sprayed on the podium here at Hockenheimring. We close out an exciting season of racing, ADAC TCR Germany.